And it was Cole Palmer's hat-trick that sealed the victory, and in a so far disappointing season for Chelsea, he's been one of the very few highlights following his £42.5 million transfer from Manchester City. He now has 16 Premier League goals this season, only 2 behind Erling Haaland in the race for the Golden Boot. And yesterday on Drive, former England midfielder Danny Murphy suggested Palmer could replace Bukayo Saka in the England squad.
He's got more goals than Saka.
You had to get that one, didn't you? We're not talking about Saka.
Well, we are, because, I mean, Saka's a wonderful player. I love him. You know, he's a right winger out and out.
Yeah.
Palmer's kind of playing there, even though he's a 10. But his all-round game, you could argue, is better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a better right winger than Saka, but his all-round footballing ability in terms of passing, linking, dropping in, because Saka doesn't play that role, does he? So it's not really a fair comparison. But, I mean, I don't see why it's not an argument to have that he could take the place of anyone in the England team other than Bellingham because of his numbers.
Interesting from Danny Murphy there. What we will say about Palmer, and to take a position of someone like Bukayo Saka, who's been so brilliant for England, does seem quite extreme. But here are the sort of stats in a way. He's taken and scored 8 penalties for Chelsea this season. We know penalties are often important at tournaments. He is the joint highest goal scorer Englishman-wise, alongside Ollie Watkins, Dominic Solanke in the Premier League with 16, but didn't play a single minute in England's latest friendlies in that game against Brazil and Belgium. Now, form suggests otherwise. Does he have more to prove then to Gareth Southgate, or should he at least be in the 23 heading to Germany?
Well, there's no doubt that he's done well, and he is knocking on the door, knocking hard on the door. And he is making. I would imagine it's Foden and who's the other side of? It should be Harry Kane down the middle, Saka and Foden. Yeah. I would imagine that's the front three in Gareth Southgate's head. Then you've got Grealish, you've got obviously Cole Palmer. Mm-hmm. You've got to try and fit Maddison in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You've got Bellingham to fit in, Trent Alexander, Declan Rice. Mm-hmm. You know, you've even got Mount, Gallagher, Raheem Sterling, Rashford. They're queuing up. Jadon Sancho, if he'd put his head together, would be in this squad. So he's got a choice of so many players he could pick. But there's no doubt Cole Palmer's done brilliantly. I don't think he's done enough to get... Would he get in Arsenal's team?
Oh, well, where would you play him?
Would he get in? So that's the way I look at it. I mean, Arsenal are trying to win the league. It's a different kettle of fish when you're playing for a team that's trying to win the league. And no disrespect to Chelsea, because normally they are, but they're in a bit of trouble at the minute. Okay. So he's playing for that team. He's took 8 penalties, but I'm not going to take it away from him. He's done really well. He's a really good footballer. He sees a pass. He's silky on the ball, and he sees chances. He sees goals. But I can't put him in front of Saka or Foden. Foden's like. He's in with the chance of Player of the Year, isn't he, Foden?
Well,
the way he's playing. The way,
especially right now, he's been absolutely brilliant for Manchester City.
I understand what Danny's saying. You know, we all got little choices on players that we like. But I thought Martinelli and Saka, they'd run out of ideas at one point at the start of the season. I was thinking, have teams worked them out, stop them coming inside? But Saka, they found a way going down the outside of players as well, both of them, quick. So I'd play Saka instead of Cole Palmer.
All right, well, it's a difficult decision for Gareth Southgate, certainly, when you have a plethora of options. Yeah. And that's probably why he's asking for a 26-man squad rather than 23-man.
I bet I've left a few out there. You can carry on.
Oh, I'm
Ward
sure.
Prowse is another one.
Yes, of course. Then there's Jared Bowen. We hadn't mentioned him.
Would you put him in front of Bowen in a team? I'd play Bowen before Cole Palmer. In any team.
And yet Cole Palmer has been such a hit for Chelsea. Yeah. But I know what you mean. It's a difficult decision.
I like Bowen.
Difficult. Oh, dear. Look, you mentioned Phil Foden. Manchester City in action this lunchtime live on talkSPORT. We're going to look ahead to their game at Crystal Palace next.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.